This is Karen Thomas of the Summit Seekers Virtual Morning Coffee Chat. I am here because we discuss on Thursday mornings any kind of business challenges or business ideas or things about building your business or balancing your life. This is about helping each other from different points of view in the community on different kinds of topics or questions. This morning, people must be busy or they'll just be dropping in here shortly. I wanted to go ahead and get started because it's been an interesting morning for me this morning. And so if nobody can come this morning, such is life, that happens, but we will go on. If you're seeing this on the replay, of course, give us a hashtag replay, and of course, an aha moment, or if you have a question, pop it into my DM, and I would be glad to talk about it. Well, this morning's been really interesting. The usual challenge, I guess, that comes up at least once or twice a week for me is my mother coming in when I'm trying to get ready for a show or do a meeting and saying, I can't find my glasses. Karen, please come help me find my glasses. And so we walk around the house, and normally I can find them right off. But this morning, I think I walked around the house 3 times, still didn't find them. So we went out to dinner last night. We both got a gift card from my sister for the same restaurant so that we could go together and enjoy a nice meal. So we'd gone out last night. So she's thinking, well, did I wear them to the restaurant? I said, no, I don't think you wore them to the restaurant. And then, of course, she went yesterday out to lunch with her girlfriends. And so she was calling that restaurant to see if she left them there. And I told her, I said, she's saying, okay, well, I guess I'll have to buy another pair. I said, please don't rush this. How many times have we looked for things and looked for things? And sometimes it's the 4th or 5th place that we look again and we find them. We have gremlins here in this house, and we've had the running joke that they borrow things and then they return them. I said, give them a little time to return them. It wasn't even 5 or 6 minutes ago that she says, I said, okay, where were they? They were on the stereo by the back door, where I guess she was letting the dog out or something. Who knows? But one of the daily occurrences that can happen in my house. How many times do you look for things? And do you have gremlins in your house? Come on, put it in the chat. Do you have gremlins that kind of borrow things and you feel like you look in the same places over and over, and all of a sudden one day it just shows back up? We all, maybe it's just me. I have no idea, but I have heard from a few friends that there's a few gremlins at their house too. So, all right. That was one of my interesting things this morning, trying to get ready and trying to be here on time. The next interesting thing is when people call us about something that we showed up on in a show or something. Well, before I talk about that, because that's going to be a whole long discussion, for anybody, I want you to know that for right this minute, I'm in messenger jail again. I get so excited. Forbes Riley's 1 Minute to Millions boot camp is coming up. And I want to show you, for those that may not know, I've been in Forbes' world for about a year now, and I just love the mentoring and the heart that she has. And her mission now in life is to help entrepreneurs win. She is the queen of pitch. And if we go to my event that is on my, let's go to events. I have this on my profile. If you look for it, of course, here's the morning, but here's the 1 Minute to Millions. And did I put it in the discussion? Maybe I didn't put it in the discussion. I put it in our group. Maybe it's in our group. I've trying to find this video. And I think I put it in the group. And maybe you're not a part. Well, this is in the group, but if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're not in my group, you're welcome to join it. But let's watch this video real quick because she explains what her 1 minute to millions is all about. Because if you have never seen or understood, I'm sure you've understood how hard telling people about your own stuff is.
Okay, so what if I told you, I want to remind you that you have access to a life-changing course right here. It's the perfect introductory pitch training, succinct, to the point, and it really allows you to make an impression, express yourself while getting understood quickly by your listeners, and move them to action. Perfect pitch. Now, you've often heard me say that if you can pitch, you can get anything and everything that you want. And that pitching is a life skill. See, it's not just used to sell products or services. You're going to use it every day, all day. I promise you, it's going to be great. It's a skill that's designed to excite, engage, and enroll others into what you're up to the very minute they meet you, whether it's on Zoom or in person. I see, for example, when you first meet somebody, here's what normally happens. They ask you, hi, what's your name? What do you do? And many of you say, hi, my name is, and basically, well, I do a lot of things. That's an answer. I hear it all the time. Or maybe you start a laundry list of all the things that you do. Well, let's see. I'm a speaker and an author and a coach, and I've got a new book coming out, and I'm also working part-time in a nursing home, and I really want to change lives, and then I want to be on stage speaking and helping others. I hear that a lot too. Let me ask you a question. Is that a clear message of what you do? Or more importantly, why the listener should care about what you do? They're confused right off the bat. You haven't engaged them, right? You thought you did, but you didn't. See, we all have such little time to get and keep people's attention. So just wouldn't it be amazing to connect with somebody, make an excellent impression, and then slowly begin a new relationship? Oh, wow. Yeah. See, I've lived my entire life this way. Perfecting this introductory pitch, it literally comes from the time that I would shake somebody's hand. And see, my intention is always to encourage and enroll them, right? I'm always pitching. But so funny, I did this with Grant Cardone. He was just getting famous about 90 seconds after I met him and his wife, Elena, in a hallway of a Las Vegas hotel. Using my skills, he invited me to a very exclusive party. He didn't know who I was at the time. Shortly after that, based on our introductory handshake and my follow-up, I was invited to be one of the only women besides his wife to be a speaker in front of 10,000 people at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas on his 10X Stage 3. Wow. Pretty amazing. And all of this came from an intro pitch where I focused more on what he would want to hear from me rather than spouting out all my credentials or that I was simply a fan of his, which is what we all do, right? Let me tell you. First, you want to do the work. You want to nail this pitch, and then you're going to practice. So in the beginning of my career, I was a media consultant, and I had celebrity clients. I had CEOs, pro athletes, and they were all looking for help with this type of pitch because everybody needs one. So whether you're being interviewed on a podcast or a nighttime talk show, a morning show, doesn't matter where, the quicker that you can get into who you are, what you're up to, and what you're doing there, the better your time is spent. So many times people, they just waste that valuable time. Or they tell stories that have no point. You've heard this, they ramble, they go on and on and on. There's no value to the listener. There's no call to action. And so what was the whole point? The genius of this template is that it's laid out in such a methodical way that you get to express who you are, what you do, why you do it. And I'm going to tell you, if you do it step by step, it is magically engaging. But this is where you have to trust me and trust the process. Now, a little quick disclaimer. The 1 minute to millions pitch is not what you're going to be doing in an elevator. People always say, is this the elevator pitch? No, this is not the same pitch you're going to be giving in an elevator. I have a whole course on that. See, in an elevator, you only have like 15 seconds, 20 seconds to make an impression. And you're not going to tell somebody all the things that you do. The irony is in that situation, it is to be more interested in them than talking about you. And yes, I do have that course. It's a whole different concept on how to deliver the perfect elevator pitch. But for now, here's what I want you to focus on. 1 minute to what? To millions.
Millions.
And in conclusion, here are 3 important things that you do when you're going through this course. And it really is very step by step. Number 1, I highly suggest that you print out the workbook, as I'm a fan of pen and paper, because studies have shown that when you write it, it has a different access to that part of your brain. It allows you to think faster, to be more creative. And when you're brainstorming, this is very, very important. I mean, you may even come up with ideas that surprise you. Okay. Number 2, don't skip ahead. Just saying, I warn you. Number 3, do one sentence in the template at a time, and then trust the process. See, in the next lesson, we're going to get our hands a little dirty. We're going to dive right into your 1 minute to millions perfect pitch template together. But most importantly, I really need you to believe in yourself right now. I need you to believe, because I know that you have the capacity to do this. That's why you're here. It's drawing from you, that moment inside of you somewhere. Flip the switch. You say, you know, I think this is for me.
All right. Well, hello, Miss Maria.
Wow.
Just talking about my 1 minute to millions with Forbes Riley is starting next Monday. And I know you did one of her other boot camps.
I was like, oh my God, there's Forbes Riley on this talk.
She was live, wasn't she? She talks to you, right?
Right? She
When-
cares about you. She cares about what goes on in your life. And just watching her care for people and wanting them to succeed was just not heard of the first time I got on her call.
And you've been with her twice, because you did her pitch secrets and then you did her boot camp.
4 times.
4 times. Okay. So it's an amazing. Now, for those that may see this on my YouTube, you know, she does them several times a year. I'm going to put the links in the description, and you can check to see when the next one might be, or reach out to me. If you haven't ever been to her classes, I always suggest the pitch secrets first. The boot camp is over 5 days. It's an hour each day, and we dive into her apps, her template. You can have her template for free, but her magic is helping you with the word. She just hears things differently. Her suggestions and her insights over her, you know, decades of selling products and knowing what works and what has evolved in her perfection of this script and this template is amazing. So anyway,
I did the week-long boot camp, but I didn't have a printer, so I'll get with you later to figure out where that is so I can print that out.
Be glad to get that for you, because we can dive into that and perfect that for you. Of course, I'm going back and doing the boot camp now. I think this will be my 4th time, because a lot of us do a lot of different things. The whole beauty of this script, once you have it and you understand and you start listening to how other people put it together, is every part of your life is a different script. When you talk about your ranching, you can have the script on who you're known as and what your mission is for your ranching. You can have it for your Color Street. You can have it for your Avon business. You can have it for any and every part of your life. She even talks that she's known as the greatest mom because of the mom of twins. She has used her script for every aspect, because pitching is not just in sales. As she would extremely tell you over and over again, pitching is just getting a yes from somebody about something. So if you ask your husband to take out the trash and he says yes, guess what you just did? You pitched him, will you take out the trash? And he said, well, okay. So
I wish it was that easy.
Don't we all, don't we all, don't we all? Well, I was talking about the different things that happened in my morning. This morning, I've had a very interesting morning. And so, of course, you weren't here yet. And I did want to talk about the pitch secrets, not the pitch secrets masterclass. I wanted to talk about the 1 minute to millions, because going through it, it just really helps with clarity. If there's a new part of your life or your business or a new product line or even, the thing is even within your own same company. When I was the Avon lady, we had so many dimensions to our company. We had the colognes, the fragrances that make us all feel sexy. Then we had the clothes, we had the jewelry, every part of the Avon, there was multiple parts. But when you pitch people, when I work with people, I talk about what's your favorite part? Because I didn't use all of the parts. I had my favorite parts. You work on emphasizing what is your biggest favorite. But the thing is when people, well, what do you think about this? I said, that's a really good question. The thing is the only person's opinion that matters is yours. Whether I can use it or not is irrelevant, because at the time when I was doing their skincares, I had oily skin. I could not use any kind of a ointment or a cream that was for dry skin. So how could I give an opinion? If I was 30 years old, how do I give an opinion for ones that are for really anti-aging when I didn't have any wrinkles? Of course, now I can talk about it a little different. But the thing is you're not going to be an expert on every product that you have in your company. So you talk about the ones you've tried or the ones that are your favorite. And when people ask you, I would just say, try it. It's guaranteed. You don't like it, tell me within 30, 60 days, I'll give you your money back. The company wants you to be happy with your product. Try it out.
I've even done that with my meat.
So it
Guaranteed.
really is important to be able to have a script that you can write down and perfect for each product line that you have, each type of company that you may represent. As an affiliate marketer, I have several that I work with or that I promote, depending on what the person is looking for to expand in their life, or to conquer in their life, or to improve in their life. So that is the magic of learning how to use a script so that you don't stumble over your words. Because what happens when you stumble over your words?
You show that you're not confident about what you're doing and about what you're selling, and that portrays across as you're speaking.
It does. And you might like it to death, but if you can't communicate, I mean, feelings and energy has a lot to do with how people judge and do. But if you're stumbling over your words and you can't get it clear, you lose their attention.
That's right.
You lose their attention. It's not even that they don't think you're credible. You lose their attention. You lose it.
In the first 6 to 10 seconds, if you can't articulate what it is you're trying to get across, they're going to scroll.
Scroll, or if you can't get them to say, oh, that's interesting, tell me more. It's all catching their attention. It's sounding different. Because how many representatives in your company?
I have no idea. Many.
Many, thousands probably, right?
Yes.
And the company puts out the same information for each and every one of you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if everybody's saying the same thing, then you become part of a chorus saying the same thing. There's nothing that stands out about you that makes me say, oh, well, that's interesting. I want to hear more of what she says, or her take, or her suggestions. When I was the Avon lady, the big thing that people would tell me, because I didn't run my business like anybody else. I had my own take. I started listening to the masters, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, Napoleon Hill. I dove into how to be a great salesperson. And I crafted and developed my business, and what I did.
Where are you headed?
based on the things that I learned in that I could do with the situation I was in with my children. Most people told me, you're just so different. I just love the way you do this. And I just, I've never had an Avon lady do that before. I've never had an Avon lady promote that before. I've never had an Avon lady offer that before. These were all things I heard over and over and over again. Now, today is a different world with a lot of our companies and a lot of our businesses. Things are done different. But being unique and stepping out of the box as much as you can for your own branding, your own uniqueness is the magic that will get people to stop scrolling, that will get people to say something. There's one marketer, and she has a cockatoo, and her cockatoo's in every video she does. That is her unique trademark. She calls her group the Mermaid something. I don't have it right in front of me, but she has a cockatoo. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but you have to find an angle that you are comfortable with that makes you different. So it's, and it's never, and sometimes people change them, though most people, if you find something, some people it's their dog, some people it's their cows. It's what makes you you that is important. The other part of my interesting morning that I wanted to tell people on is I was invited to be on a 5-minute segment on what they call the Professional something network. And I thought, okay, it's free. I'll do that. So I went through the whole process, and I get called this morning telling me how good the response was from my segment, that there was a sponsor out there that wanted to help me get my message out more. And I'm thinking, okay, I really needed to hear that. How many times as women we don't get told how wonderful we are? Isn't that a great thing to be told, wow, you did a great job on something? Are you there, Maria? Did you freeze up? Maybe you froze up. Are you there? Oh, maybe it's my internet. Who knows? Miss Maria, I hope you come back. But I'll go on with my story in case you don't. But they were telling me how the response they'd gotten, the people had called in and were real interested, and they take notice when there's response on their 5-minute interviews, and how they had a sponsor that wanted to help me step it up and do more. And at first it's just so invigorating to know that all the hard work you put into trying to do a presentation or being authentic got you noticed. But I have to tell you, people, not real sure, but I'm but my gut tells me. Hello, Miss Maria. You're back now. So after hearing all of this, and I was telling her, I don't know, I've invested a lot of money and doing and trying and going through my trainings and all the stuff that I've done. I didn't know if I'd have to work on my budget and my stuff to figure out where I could come up with the money, because I had to put up half of, the sponsor was going to put up half, and I was going to put up the other half. And it was, this was like a $20,000 package, and they were going to do it for me for $5,000. I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm doing $5,000. Not happening. She goes, well, so it's a budget thing. You're not afraid of the camera. You're not afraid of that. No, I'm good. She said, I can work with that. How about we do it half? I'll do half the shows, 10 shows. And if I go from 10, we'll do 5. She said, that way it's only like $2,500. I said, I'll have to work on this. I'm not really sure where I'll come up with it from.
Took me a long time to figure. I had to get that was a doctor. I had to get that call, but it took me a while to figure out. There's a speaker in here somewhere. I'm gonna find it if it kills me.
Very good. I'm glad. I figured you'd come back and you'd work in, but I'm continuing with my story. You might have to watch the replay to catch up, or hear the whole thing. But anyway, so she goes, well, why don't we just start with one show? 1.5 hour show, and we'll get it out to this and do the billboard and we'll do all of that. And yeah. $500. I said, okay, I have a Thursday morning chat that I do. And I got to I said, it's coming up really soon. Let me call you back in 2 hours. Let me look at my budget. Let me see where I can finagle. The reason I asked for that is because I wanted to get her off the phone and I wanted to do some research. Wanted to figure out. And so I've put several posts in 2 different communities to see if anybody else has been doing this. I went on Google, asked for reviews on it, and came up with a whole lot of information about how many other people were told that their little segment did so well and that there was a sponsor that wanted to pay for more advertising or pay for part of it and yada, yada, yada. You see, guys, scammers know. All they got to do is stroke that ego of ours of how if people are interested, people want to know, people, you're just your smile is just so wonderful. I want to get to know you. Guys, if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. And I'm not to say that there's not wonderful things out there, because I have offered for girls to come on and tell me about their opportunity. I want us to learn how to talk about our opportunities and tell people. And the best place to practice is in our community. There's probably people here that would buy or love to hear what you have to say. And when you do the segment, and maybe you don't get it right the first time, let's do it a couple times. It's yours to use to send out to other people, but it gets you used to talking. Now, of course, I'm going to recommend going to Forbes Riley's 1 Minute to Million boot camp, because that gives you a script and a template. There's so many times that I've pulled 1 or 2 sentences out of that script because I've practiced it and I've wrote it out, and I can pull out 1 or 2 sentences when I need them. And then I use the whole script when it's appropriate.
And it has value.
Exactly.
Your billboard, it has a different value, but it started out being too good to be true.
Yes. But it stroked me in the right way. But I've learned, and we've all done, I won't say stupid things, because nothing that happens in life that isn't either a win or a lesson. And I don't regret any of the things I did. I've learned a lot of stuff along the way, but I've also learned that when people start stroking my ego too much and trying to work with me way, way, way too easily, that I need to really delve into why. And it's not that the stuff's not out there. I went and found the interview. It's out there. It's posted in lots of places, just like they said. They did everything they said they were going to do. But it is a teaser so that they can come back and see how much more they can get you involved and how much more they can get you to spend. They start with free and then it goes on. And I'm not to say that some of that isn't real useful. I haven't gotten answers back from my post to see if anybody else has actually used them. See, the whole part of my post is I'm using the communities that I'm in with Forbes Riley. I've got several. And I put a post out there. Has anybody else been approached or done the segment or used these and done this and worked with this service before? Because until I get some really good feedback that somebody's used it and it's helped their business, right at this moment, I'm not inclined. My gut doesn't tell me that this is something that I should do right this minute. So this is how it's important, because once you start putting your name out there that you have a business, you start putting yourself out there on Google, you start having a website, you start doing stuff, all these people are going to look to say, oh, we'll promote you. We love what you're saying. We love what you're doing. We love how you're offering this. They just come up with so many ways to tell you how wonderful you are. And what they're saying today will change. Tomorrow, they'll find a new way to stroke.
I was just hacked last night.
You were hacked last night in what?
The day before on my Facebook page. And this morning, they'll do anything.
So did you lose your Facebook page?
I don't know. I was in the process of trying to figure out to change the passwords again. When I said, oh my gosh, it's 10:36. So I just lost track of time is what I did. But there was an awful video on there that I just wouldn't even post. So I had 2 or 3 friends tell me, hey, did you did a new Facebook page? And I said, no, trying to fix it. So.
Right. Do you have 2-factor authorization on your Facebook?
I believe I do, but I've only done it via my phone. So I don't know.
Okay, because that's the biggest thing, is that whenever I sign into Facebook, it sends me a code to make sure it's me.
Yes, I did that yesterday. What was I trying to say?
But
I don't ever sign out.
But make sure the phone number in there is yours.
It is.
Okay.
But I never sign out of Facebook if that was on.
See, I mean, that's where the thing is that you have to get your settings so that people can't see your friends. They can't, I have a whole training on how your settings should be in Facebook.
Then I need to get with that training.
Okay, then we'll work on that. Because the 2-factor authorization, when Facebook put it in there, I now have it on everything. It's irritating as shit. Okay, excuse my language. It's irritating because every time I want to go do something, then it sends me a code and I got to put the code in, but in these instances, the ramifications is if they get into your account and they take it from you. There are several people in the communities I'm in that had to start all over.
Lost all their pictures and everything.
They lost access to their whole account. Forbes Riley has been hacked. Well, no, she wasn't hacked. I take that back. We had another show about this where she was talking about some different areas that the algorithm thought she was being a scammer. But see,
really?
Forbes Riley has sold $2.6 billion in products. So when she talks about being able to help you create a persona or create a script or use her script to make money, she ain't kidding. But the Facebook algorithm did not like it and closed her account. Now she has an account on there that a hacker did take. And because she had an old email that she can't get into anymore, she can't verify who she is.
Yeah, that happened to me.
So
they closed my email because I complained that there was somebody buying something on Amazon using my email to go and ship it to Russia or Ukraine or someplace like that. And they finally shut my email. It was my business email.
Right. I mean, the thing is so many different things happen. And it's so very frustrating. And it happens, if it can happen to Forbes Riley, who is, a mega millionaire several times over in the things that she's done, it happens to, I can think of 5 people off the top of my head that have lost their accounts. And the algorithm, it assumes things. It is not personal. It is about words. It's about what that algorithm thinks your intent is. And it assumes a whole lot of stuff depending on
No.
words. It doesn't put it into context. It doesn't look at who you are. It just takes a few words, saying them in the wrong way, and that algorithm will shut you down. And that's going to happen on all of, I mean, Facebook's notorious for it, but do you think any of the other social media platforms are immune to, getting that confident in saying, well, we don't, we're going to be the police force of what content is put out there? You have to use it to a degree with the knowledge that it's not perfect. And this it can't be the only avenue you have for getting customers and leads.
That's why I'm kind of afraid to use the AI.
Don't be afraid of AI. Learn to use AI. Because if you don't learn to use it and make it your friend, then the people in your business that do will outdo you. All my emails, AI writes. It does such a better job than me. It takes me hours to think and work on the wording, and I can put in the points that I want it to be written on. And that AI, because I have a program, I'm on a platform that I told it all of my history. I told it about my children. I told it about my story, and it writes my posts and my emails with my story as a basis. It's the most fabulous platform. Anybody wants to know it, I'll put that link in the description as well, how to get on this platform, because their AI is phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. And it's so versatile in the different ways I can use it with my pictures. It will even find pictures for you, but it's AI. AI uses the whole web, and the same person, different people can put in the same information, word for word, and the AI will develop something different for each one.
Huh.
So there's
Didn't
no
know.
plagiarism. There's no way for anybody to copy anybody else using AI.
I did not know.
So I would tell you, learn to use AI, get on a platform that can use AI for you, or that you can use with it, because AI is going to put all your VAs out of work. It's going to put all your, it's doing so many phenomenal things. AI, it's just like, did you see the movie Oppenheimer?
No.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but the story, of course, Oppenheimer was the guy who developed how to split the atom. He was the guy who discovered and developed the atom bomb.
Ah.
But he didn't want it as a bomb. He discovered how to split the atom and use the energy. When he discovered that they wanted to use it as a bomb, it destroyed his life. That's what the movie's about. He was devastated that they were going to use his research and his findings for evil, or to hurt people. He did not discover it for it to hurt people. That was not who he was. But once it was done, once it was used, once it was developed, he couldn't undo that. Anything and everything can be used for good and for evil. There's two sides to every coin, no matter what you're using. Social media, food, everything can be used for evil. It doesn't matter what it is. You can control all the guns. The bad people are still going to get guns.
Yeah.
You can
Guns.
take away everything from people, and bad people will still find a way. Scammers will still find a way. Your best defense is to do what you can within the realms of what you have. And no, Einstein said that the biggest question that you can answer for yourself is, do you live in a friendly or unfriendly universe? Once you answer that for yourself, then everything that happens to you, your reaction will be based on your definition and answer to that question. Life isn't about having a smooth ride, people. Life is about having a roller coaster, whether you're in business, whether it's just family and life. And, Jade was supposed to be on today talking about her business, but her husband's in the hospital with kidney failure.
Mm.
And she said, I had to work. She said, I had to go to work. She said, he hasn't been able to work. He's losing his kidneys. They don't know why. So she had to decline. She had to let me know yesterday that she could not be on the show today. You never know what's going to happen in life. But as I responded to her, sending prayers, hugs and prayers, but this too shall pass, because nothing lasts forever.
No.
Even if I'm taken out of here today, even if this is my last hour on earth, I've told my kids, go have a party. I'm 65 years old. I've done a lot of things. I've enjoyed life. I created great kids. Go have a party. Do not be sad that I'm gone. I've gone to my next adventure. Whatever that's going to be, in whatever other realm, I'm gone to my next adventure. Because you see, the energy, the soul, our soul does not, it's eternal. It does not live and die. We are energy beings, and we are connected to the other side. Always. Just some people have let this human experience cover it up and make walls around who they are so they can't hear it. They can't feel it anymore. But we are energy beings, and this body is just a human experience for me.
Just a shell. It's just, my grandmother taught me, it's just a shell.
Yep. It is just what carries around the awesome, powerful energy being that we are. It has no limitations except what you let in your brain think that it can do. Because you see, how many mothers, we've seen it, they've done movies on it, something happens and all of a sudden they become superwoman. Mothers have lifted up cars off of people because the energy being within us can do all of that. It's the mind that gets in the way and says you can't.
Yep.
I'm not going to preach. This was not my.
No, I have to confess, I felt that one time, that energy. I broke my leg and I was laying down. I had to get our ATV off of me.
Mhm.
Maybe it weighs 300 pounds. I've never lifted 300 pounds in my life. Yep. My energy and the wheels turning on the ATV is what
It
lifted
happened.
that.
You
I
did
was
it.
amazed.
Yes, that is the miracles of life. You can't sit there and put them in a laboratory and make them happen again.
No.
Because we as energy beings, we control the energy, and our mind is what allows it to manifest or not. So, but I hope everybody enjoyed the conversation today. Miss Maria, I'm glad you got back.
You hear my donkey?
Huh? Jack? Your donkey Jack?
Yeah, do you hear him?
Do I hear him? No.
No, okay.
Is he talking?
Yeah, he was talking.
You're talking.
I just about 10 minutes ago, I told Tom, go get the bag of carrots.
Ah,
So I'll share with you about him off.
okay. Well, the Zoom does really good about canceling a lot of the noises in the background. So a lot of times people think that people are hearing stuff and they're really not. But
Yeah, like
where
dogs
you're,
over
Miss
here.
Maria, just so that people can, I always have you introduce, we'll just have you introduce at the end since you popped in after I've started. Why don't you tell people?
Hi, yeah. I'm Maria and I live in Texas and today's going to be 80 degrees and I sell coloristry and I ranch.
You ranch. And we are so glad you're in our community. I appreciate you coming in, and I will, of course, be seeing you tonight. We have a meeting tonight,
Yes.
and I am excited, and I will see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Karen Thomas. But guess what? That is not important. What's important is your success online. I can help you start a successful, thriving business online, no matter how many times you have failed. If you have a desire to win, you can. All you need is Wi-Fi, a laptop or desktop, and be able to follow simple directions. Reach out to me and I can show you exactly how.